as someone who as someone who advocates for those who should push themselves forward, there's a time and place for everything. When is it going to be the time that you make yourself available for what you are focused on? When is it? Going into the new year. What's going to happen? Is anything going to change? That's a conversation that you have to have with the person in the mirror. No one else. We're live on set. Earth is here. Welcome live on set with Irven, where we discuss strategies, execution, and teamwork. And sometimes those letters, get switched around for different words, acronyms, different things. But pretty much it goes the same depending on what you're dealing with. And making time. There's a time and place for everything. So when are you gonna make time to get yourself in the place that you need to be? These are honest questions that we ask people because you have to make time. Because time is really all we have. The money, you could be a millionaire overnight, so that really doesn't matter. You can get a job promotion, you can change a new job, you can get a new situation, but you still need to make time if you plan on making a dent, making an impact in your community. And I stopped saying for the culture because I realized that a lot of people, even if they're, catering towards their own race, sometimes it's really not for the culture. So it's about the community that you represent. And, those communities intertwine, of course, but it's about the community that you represent. So if you plan on making a dent in the music industry, you have to do something. If you want to make a dent in photography and be like the Johnny Nunez's of the world, or being like my boy Walik, or like Lawrence Minor, or like Mika, or like Yolanda P. Smith, you gotta work for that. And it doesn't come easy. And you have to make time for what you love to do. Shout out to Shots by Force. I ain't forget about you, Governor. You got to put the work in. You have to put the work in. You have to make time for it. I never seen anybody become successful off of their idea that somebody else put all the time into. It doesn't make sense. Because if they're putting all the time and effort into it, they might as well be the chief executive officer and run everything from the ground up. So when people are saying that, that's why you can't blame anybody for what happens, because we are in a world right now where we have access to everything. So it's really on you, who you want to connect with, who you want to build with, for what your reasons are, why, and really just approaching it, to be honest. That's really it. But you'll be surprised how many people aren't really, really making the time to really focus on self, because they're always focused on other things and other people and other situations. And it doesn't have to necessarily be that way. You have to be able to, yes, think about other things. But nothing stops me from getting on set. Setting up the camera, setting up the lights, setting up the Rodecaster Pro Tools, setting up the Stream Deck, setting up the A10 Mini Pro, setting up the slider, running the computer, changing the sounds, making sure everything is bounced off properly, looking in the background, actually putting up Christmas decor because this is what it's all about. And there's so many other things that come into play that goes in between becoming this one man band. But it takes technology, it takes a team, it takes me to make time, put myself in a place where I know that I know that I'm giving it my all. I know that I'm focused on pushing the record button, like it or not. You have to push the button, like it or not. You just do. You have to. It's mandatory. Because you'll blink a few more times and the sound of music done changed again. Every time you blink a few times, the sound of music change. Something in the culture changes, something in the community changes. People change, the clothing, the style, the brand, the basketball player that's hot, the soccer player that's known. You know, like it's always going to be a change, like it or not. And everyone don't get a chance. Someone say, yeah, you won't get a chance in life about certain things. Everyone don't get a chance because they haven't put in enough work for someone to be able to say, yo, I want to give them a shot. Or, yo, I want to give them a chance. I want to sit down and work with them. I want to try to do something with them. Whatever impact you plan on making, you have to make time for it. You're not going to say, hey, I want to record a project and then never get to the studio, and you want to set up meetings with people and connect the dots and haven't received the Zoom call link yet. There's all these things that people are saying that they want to do for themselves. They have to do for themselves. Like it or not, if nobody wants to be here, no one wants to work with me, this can still happen. This is going to still happen. Why? Because it's an integrity clause, a personal internal integrity clause that I made with myself, just knowing that I'm going to give it all I got. I'm going to push it to the limit if I'm able to. And you know, we're pushing and we're getting closer and closer to the end of the year. And though we will go to commercial break and come back, I hope that you do make the time and the effort to get yourself in a place to be able to show something different than what you're doing now and what you were doing last year. And in 2021, during COVID, time is going by fast, y'all. It's going by fast. And we don't have control over it, but we do have control over is how we treat the gift. And what's the gift? Being in the present. Because being present is the gift, y'all. If you woke up today and you're able to breathe, congratulations. You get another chance to be better than yesterday. We're live on set. Earth. See, I love music and creators, and I want you to have a studio, but I don't want the studio to have you. And that's why you need to get in contact with Some Law Entertainment to make sure that you do this right the first time. These guys are officially unapologetic. They help you get on the smartest studio budget plan because they're committed to doing what's right for the sole purpose of that project. That means that they're constantly checking in daily to make sure that you are doing what you said you wanted to get done, done. They'll show you equipment that's beneficial to what you need to get done. Sometimes we struggle with what we want versus what we need, and that's now going to be a thing of the past going forward. In a nutshell, these guys actually care. That's why we call them Governor Trusted. Those thoughts you have in the back of your head, let's finally get them out to the world. And the good folks at Some Law Entertainment is here to help. So, photo shoots, headshots, aerial imagery, video, as well as music production. Do not wait any longer. Please, give them guys a call. And congratulations. You're one step closer to the rest of the world being able to see what you're thinking. I'll see you in the studio. Peace. I hope you guys can recognize how you have to be when you're going for it all. How you have to be. Listen, guys, we are at the end of 2023. Those EPK shots that you have, I don't even know if they even have EPK shots. Guys, we're in the end of 2023. Get your EPKs, get your headshots, get some work done. We have a few more slots. A few more slots. We have a few more slots, Governor. Get your Some Law Entertainment discount package. Get your work done. Reach out to us. We are working with people. Why? Because we know that times is difficult. At the same time, though, we want to work with people who really want to put time into themselves. When we say strategy and execute in a team, we mean that. Figuring out a plan, getting it done with the right people. That's it. Anything else will be uncivilized. Holla at us. Photo shoots, aerial imagery, EPKs, because you guys need your electronic press kit together. It's not about just for music artists, because I'm talking with chefs and different people and I'm saying, wow. Man, I'm about to go to their house just so I can get something to eat. As good as that shit look on the page. You hear me? And for everybody out there who's pushing the needle forward and getting to the next level, I see you guys. I recognize you guys. I appreciate you guys. And be better than you are today, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on pushing the needle forward. That's all you have to do is keep on pushing forward and it will make sense. That's how it goes. That's the formula. A decent amount of sleep, staying focused, and putting in more work on your personal life than you do at your job. You have to work close as twice as hard, if not even matching it. If you're working less hours on your passion than you are at work, that's why things aren't working out how it's supposed to. Like I tell you guys, I'll be in the bed by 10:30, up at 1:30, lights and cameras be on, outfits and changing clothes. This is no joke. It's no joke with how I'm giving it up. I mean this. This is dedication. This is putting the time in the right place. Not just sitting down on YouTube looking at other people's videos, sitting down talking about, mostly get around gossip and talking about other people's lives and situations versus actually figuring out what they love to do for themselves. What you love to do for yourself. What do you love to do for yourself? How do you pour back into yourself and others? Is a real conversation. And I don't believe that it's held enough, but it is a reality check. And if you ain't pouring back into yourself going into the new year, give us a call. We're here. The right time and place. What is the right time and place? Being up at 1:30 in the morning with everything already set up, just turn everything on, get myself aligned, and figure out what the next chapter, what the next episode is, what's the next topic, or what just feels right. Because sometimes you want to just sit down and you just want to push the record button and just start talking. Drain your brain so when you get back around others and situations, you can know how to navigate. You can feel more at ease, more content, more in control, without feeling pressured, without feeling as if you're, going against your will or being, forced against your will. But if you don't make time for yourself and the things that you love to do, people will make you, the universe is going to make you spend time on something. And if you ain't making the time on yourself, it's going to make it be towards a job, towards an occupation, or towards someone else's stuff. There's nothing wrong with being a part of someone else's anything, because we all have to be a part of something. But when you're able to sit back and look at it, you have to also look at and receive how you want to be reflected upon, how you want people to look at you, because you don't want people to be able to look at you and think they could play with you. They can't play with you. And if they think that they could play with you, that's where the problem starts. Because we are not in the business to be being played with when we have to make time for a lot of other things that's going on in the world. My love, my prayers, and my condolences go out to you guys that need it during these holiday seasons. And I understand that. And I hope that, you're being inspired by things and events that's going on, that's allowing you to get yourself in place and make time for the things that matter. Make time for it. And nothing's perfect. We know that. Nothing's perfect. But you could do things to your heart content. If you're not tired and exhausted by what you love to do, not your job, not your occupation, not what you get paid for to pay your bills. I'm talking about the thing that's gonna keep you broke for a long time and still make time for it in order for things to fall into place. These are real conversations. Make time for things, or the universe is going to make you give your time elsewhere. But you're going to give your time. So you might as well put it towards your show, put it towards your podcast, put it towards your degree, your education, put it towards, continuing your legacy. Put it towards only giving it to people that is going to take it, receive it, and apply it back to the universe. Don't give it to standstill people, because standstill exist everywhere. And they're no good for you. They're not good as far as your boundaries are concerned. They shouldn't be a part of your 1,000 attempts. Because all of your 1,000 attempts are attempts that you are excited about. Things that give you the drive to want to go harder. Things that make you want to double up the work, put in more work. Don't stop, regardless. of who's watching or not. Don't stop. Make time for it. I was told by a good friend of mine, you have to have a very decent amount of videos on YouTube in order for things to click in how it needs to. And if that's the case, we're getting the ball rolling. We're moving. We're going. We're not stopping. We're not doubling back and telling people, hey, you want to come? Hey, you want to come? Hey, you want to pass your production? Nah. Everybody have an idea about what's going on. And if they really want to invest, they're going to put themselves in a place that's going to make time for me to also see what they have going on. Because if I wasn't doing any of this and just talking to people verbally and saying, yo, I want to do this, I want to set the cameras up, I want to record myself, I want to do this, I want to get outfits, I want to do that, and I'm not showing anything of the sort, how the would I expect anybody to take me serious? It's impossible. No one's going to take you as serious as you take yourself. No one's going to give you as much time as you give yourself. No one's going to put you in a place for anything greater if you do not show that you're worthy of that position. That's how it goes. And even if you're worthy to some, you may not be consistent enough to all. And that's something that you have to prove to others as well. You have to make time for what you love to do. You have to make time. You have to be consistent. You got to give it up. If you're not giving it up, I don't know what you're doing. With all these situations, all these funerals that's going on in the world, it's very, very clear that time is not on our side. And when your number's called, that's your time. You can make all the plans you want for how you're going to get things together going into the new year, and you might not make it. Talking about, the New Year's Eve parties and all these different events coming up and all these great things that's going on that allows you to drain yourself without being fulfilled, without feeling fulfilled. That's not healthy. That's not good. And it's not going to be respected by the elite. We're on a set. If you're like most creators, then being original is your most valuable asset. And when you're ready to make huge improvements, it can feel as if everything costs too much or just takes way too long. But something as simple as updated headshots from some law can separate you from what everyone else is doing and still looking. Those you have industry standings with recommended Some Law Entertainment for decades, so you know that the job will get done successfully at the lowest cost. Especially when those extra dollars have to go to something else in the budget like lighting, aerial imagery, and all those things that come along with in-house studio requirements, and the team is ready to help you with everything. With free consultation, you can ask questions and see exactly how it makes sense the most to you. Once able to get the finances out the way, the creative process is all you need to focus on. Plus, there's no misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Protect what's worth protecting, and I'll see you in the studio. A busy day today. It's a busy day today. It is a busy day today. A mentor by the name of Alberta Fikes, who got me into the Department of Education, has passed on. And it's interesting because this is on a Friday, it's a service. And that's why you see the all black situation happening, because I'm attending her service very soon. But something pushed me to come on here and speak and come on the set. So I trust the process, but this is also a day where this is the last day of the school year. This is not the school year, but this is the last year. This is the last day before we go on Christmas break. So I had to call out of work, and I'm looking to get to the service and pay my respect and assist the family how and try to get back to my school just so I could be present. Though I called out for the day, I would still like to get back and just kick with my students and pass a couple of things out, maybe a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying? So being like we're saying, making the time. There's nowhere in the world that I could not make this. So as much as I love to be with my students and I love being with them, but I'm in this and I'm with them because of this woman. Very, very powerful, influential woman that is loved, respected, and appreciated. And didn't matter where she was in the world, I was definitely making it there. We are in a time now, guys, where I told you guys that this industry is filled to the brim with a bunch of unrealistic people. And when you look back at what you contributed to your family and to your loved ones, you're not going to be able to know that while you're alive. You have to be gone for people to be able to speak about your presence, because when your presence is no longer here, that's when they really, really recognize who you are. That's when it hit home that you are no longer physically there to guide them through circumstances. This is when they have to now believe in a higher power. Some of us, we get upset because we don't get the validation that we feel we deserve now. And it's not about receiving the validation now, because people can't recognize your worth and the time that you put in until they realize that, that's not around anymore. When they start realizing that the work that you put in, others cannot match it. They can't match it. They struggle with it. It's hard for them to be better than yesterday because they feel like they don't have all the tools. They feel as if they don't have all the tools. And that's the problem, because everyone's walking around here with a smartphone. And what's that song in the church? You got the whole world what? In his hands. You got the whole world in your hands and still not make the time and place and do what's necessary for you to become a better person. Make time for yourself, or continue to make time for everything and everyone else. Life is what you make it, guys. Not to ask you guys, what are you making? What are you doing? What are you showing improving on? What are you doing your 1,000 tries on? What are you investing in? What are you making time for? Who are you praying with? Who's praying for you? Who's making time for you? Who's praying with you? Who's calling you up, giving you words of encouragement? Who's telling you that they're proud of you? Who's making the time to also remind you of how important you are? Shout them out. Give them that love. Boy Cal Book would say, show love when I come through. You heard me? Got to show love. Can't be no itty bitty ever. And if you are, who really has time for that? Listen, this is a short episode. I can tell it is. I can feel it. But as you know, it's about the message. It's about making time. Putting yourself in a place where sometimes you may have to fall back from everything and everyone. That doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't make you wrong. You're supposed to fall back. Sometimes you got to take 2 steps back to go 1 step up. But eventually you'll get to the finish line. Eventually you will meet your deadline. If you put in the work, eventually you will. But if you don't put in the work, don't expect any results. If you don't put in the work, don't expect the results. I don't care what it is. If you're not putting in time to get yourself in perspective on what matters, don't expect anyone to follow suit and or do the same for you, with you. And anyone who do, they're probably just desperate, probably don't got shit going for themselves. And you have to think about that. Because everyone's supposed to have something going on for themselves, even while assisting one another. Play that back. We're live on set, and we're going into the new year. And as I tell you guys, everyone out there who's going on Christmas break, though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone who watches this. To you and yours. To everybody out there who's it's maybe a bit more difficult during these times. This time too shall pass. Because that's what life's all about. No feeling lasts forever. This time too shall pass. But what you do at this time is going to determine who you're going to be in the future. Make time for yourself. Invest in yourself. Update those headshots. And I'm telling you guys, anybody that I love, if I see those same shots from 2022, from COVID, I'm calling you out in 2024. I'm putting it on your wall. I'm tagging you. I'm asking you, why? Why do you have connections with so many great people and still looking like 3 years ago? How you know all these phenomenal photographers and you can't work out something to have updated shots on all your platforms? LinkedIn looked like 2022. Facebook looks like 2020. TikTok looked like 2-3 weeks ago. And it's not even your picture of current. Listen, you keep on playing with yourself. And if you keep on playing with yourself, you're going to realize that nobody wants to play with you. Love yourself first and foremost. Be you to the fullest when you go into 2024. Be a beautiful individual. Be you to the fullest. Don't be no itty bitty going into the new year, because only punks gonna fold. Those that stand the test of time is going to show what standing the test of time is all about. We are live on set. Your strategy, how you execute, your team, whoever it is, shout them out, show love. Each one teach one, right? Hopefully. I'm out. Peace.